And when you find your passion, it ignites you as a person. Hello, welcome back. It's good to see you. If this is your first time here, my name is Crystal. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for over 5 years, had a couple of MMA fights, do Muay Thai, wrestling, judo. I do a bunch of stuff. If you've seen more than one video and have not subscribed yet, come join this family, be a part of some really awesome shit. Today, we are gonna do some nasty jiu-jitsu. And in the context of nasty, this is what I mean. If you have a jiu-jitsu technique in which you are able to choke them out and literally their hands are tied up, they can't really talk, and the only way they can tap is by using their feet, that, my friends, that's some of the funnest techniques that you will learn in jiu-jitsu. We are gonna go over 5 finishes from the back that is going to help you out. So this first finish is going to start by me capturing Gary's top side arm and securing it behind his back. That way he has no way to hand fight me. Now, to completely get rid of all of his ability to hand fight me, I then secure his bottom side arm and then choke him with my top side arm. And this is different from regular rear naked chokes because I am only choking with one arm. We aren't just rendering complete, you are going to be rendering your partner on the mat completely helpless because they have no ability to use their arms to defend. Like Gary literally just then had to tap with his foot. So again, he's trying to hand fight. So I secure both hands with a cross grip. He tries to pull his top side arm out and I use that motion to secure it behind his back, secure his bottom arm with that knuckle line grip that's so effective. I go over that on my Patreon. He tries to defend by putting his chin down and I use the can opener technique to get under his chin, inflate my chest, and rotate slightly. And now he is trying to defend by turning his head up and putting his chin down. And you can always choke over the jaw. Their mandible will actually assist in the choke, but that's not, you're not gonna make a lot of friends on the mat if you consistently choke over the jaw, but you know, some people still do, and it's definitely, you know, all they have to do is put their chin up. So again, I'm using my chin to secure over the knuckle line because the only way he can strip that grip of me choking him is getting access to my knuckle line. So if you hide it with your chin acts as a latch and will secure your choke. So again, using a different closure technique and using my bottom foot to cross over my top foot and squeeze. That way he can't get that arm back. I use that knuckle line technique to secure his bottom hand. And again, this is a one-handed rear naked choke and your opponent's arms are completely incapacitated. And the reason why Gary's making that face is if you have a clean choke, that means you're just above the carotid, you're over the carotid arteries, like my bicep would be over one side and my forearm would be on the other side of his neck. But sometimes if it gets a little rotated, you can end up with your forearm over their trachea. And in a self-defense situation, I mean, you're not trying to make it pleasurable for the person. You're just gonna choke the shit out of them. If a larynx gets crushed, a larynx gets crushed. You know what I'm saying? Now let's say they do that technique. Here's the second submission that you have for the back in this series. This is a triangle, this is a back triangle. And the reason why this is so great for this series is, let's say somebody has a really good defense and they aren't allowing you to choke their neck because they're scrunching their head, well, what you can do is you can use this grip that we're showing right here to then capture one of their arms, and Johnny's smiling because I definitely extended him, and then use that leverage that you have created by pulling their arm up over their head, which makes the arm in a very weak position. Then you can use your bottom side arm as a fulcrum point on their elbow to then ratchet it and pull it up, secure it with your chin, and then extend your hips. That way you're really stretching them out. So here's that same triangle from the back position. So I changed the grip like we showed with Johnny, and here is the triangle finish. So I move my leg up from that initial hold. And then here is the third finish you can do. You can do a shotgun armbar, which this has a ton of leverage. You don't have to extend your hips barely at all to get a tap. So the back triangle is beautiful. Any type of triangle is beautiful because you always have one arm exposed. And when you have one arm exposed, that means you can break that arm. So the important thing to keep in mind with triangles is it gives you a lot of options and opportunity. You can use it as a choke in and of itself, or you can also use it as a hold to break arms and shoulders. So here's that triangle setup, getting that arm and back, hipping out. Same thing from a different angle, that way you can see the finish. Securing that triangle, and then getting the shotgun armbar. And then the fourth, are we on 4 now? I think it's 4. You can also do an Americana from there. And if you rotate the arm in the other direction, you have yourself a KIMURA. You can also do a wrist lock from that position as well. But I mean, wrist locks, that's like the salt and pepper. You know, your meat and potatoes, that's going to be your chokes and your large joint manipulations. Or I should say locks, breaking them, breaking joints. So we have a setup. So let's say that first rear naked choke didn't work, they're defending. You change your hand grip in order to isolate that arm. You hip out, you grab your shin, lock up the triangle, and now that arm is exposed and free for the taking. So is the shoulder joint with that Americana. I have a funny story for you, okay? So I am all about freedom, all right? I believe that people should have the right to make their own decisions, even if it's so stupid it gets them killed. That's like the whole theory of evolution. You know what I'm saying? Survival of the fittest or death of the dumbest. So I'm like, all right, I want to go travel. I really want to go to St. Bart's, look up travel information and for St. Bart's and other places. And it turns out that in this day and age, other governments will not let you in their country unless you get a COVID shot, like both of them. So I went, got the first shot, right? Was out for like 1 or 2 days because it made me have flu-like symptoms. And 20 days later, I get the second Pfizer shot. And the next morning, this morning, I wake up and one half of my face is swollen. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just go to jiu-jitsu. Like, what's the chances of getting hit in the face in jiu-jitsu? So I do class and then I'm rolling. It's probably like my 7th round. And they were short rounds, like 3 or 5 minute rounds. And I go to take Johnny's back and I'm aggressive. And he doesn't want me to take his back. And he turns around and bam, elbow right to the face, same side. Like, what are the chances? Look at this, look at this. This is giving Joker full cheek, youthful apple. This is the swollen side, normal side. Like this is some Joker shit right here. Look at the curve. But yeah, that's I've never had an elbow to the face during a roll before that hard. Congratulations. And of course, after that, I was like, well, I'm seeing some people doing some Muay Thai rounds. Like, why not get in some sparring in which I did not get punched in the face as hard as that elbow? Who needs to go to med spas when you have jiu-jitsu? Honestly, I've had colored eyes, like eyeshadow. It's really making me, it's making me beautiful. All right, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.